Drawing Harry Potter by Doris Charest. Now we're going to very quickly go through the basic steps of drawing Harry Potter. So we're going to divide our face into sections. We're going to add the eyes. Remember that with the eyes, there's one eye width in between both eyes, and then we measure from the iris down for the edge of the mouth, for the corners of the eyes, for the edge of the nose, and we go from there. All those little things that I reviewed before, we do here. So what we're doing first is establishing where all the parts are. So where the nose is, where the mouth is, the shape of the nose, the mouth, we kind of put them all in the right place, and then we start adjusting. Because to get Harry Potter to where he is, we're going to have to change some things, because the face isn't, not every face is the same, so we have to adjust it to make it look like Harry Potter. And I've started the shading already. Now I speeded up the camera, as you can tell, because normally I don't work this fast. And we're going to just block in the basic important areas, and then we'll add more and more detail. This is a rather long video, so even speeded up, it is quite long. So just watch carefully at each step. Here I'm blocking in the shapes, the shading. The right side of the face is more shaded than the left side of the face, so I take care of that. And I add shading, and I take away the basic structure lines that we had before as much as I can. So every once in a while I use my finger to kind of blend the graphite. But you don't have to use your finger, and you don't have to blend. That's just the way I like to do things. There's many different styles in drawing. There's a lot of different ways you can do the same thing. And keep in mind what I just did. I erased some parts where I had put too much of that graphite. So I clean it up, and now my hand is smudging everything, so I'm putting a paper under my hand to stop it from smudging. If you're doing a really big drawing, this is a rather small drawing, it's really important to put a piece of paper under your hand to stop everything from smudging, because your hand, you need to lean it somewhere, so you need to do that part. Now I'm adding all the shadow shapes from the nose, the side of the face, and if you notice, what I did is I put in a medium shade first, and I put in all the light and medium shades. Now I start adding the darker shades, and I start redefining the shapes. Every single time you need to redefine those shapes. So I'm blocking in the hair now, and I'm not that careful in the beginning. I look for basic shapes. I need the big shapes first, and then I will add detail. So I block in the basic shapes, give him the hair he needs, and he's got a quite interesting hairdo. So we add that in, and I put a little too much there. Remember that an eraser is a useful tool, and don't be afraid to use it. It's quite important. Here I'm just going to block in the shirt and add that in. But like I was saying, don't be afraid to use your eraser. You're often going to get distracted and maybe put in too much information sometimes, so don't be afraid to erase it out and start again. So now he's starting to look a little more like Harry Potter. And I'm adding more detail, and I'm adding more definition. So I've switched to a darker pencil now, and I'm trying to block in more of the hair, the darker areas. And then I'll refine the areas that are just the edges a little later. So I'm blocking in the hair now. And you see I go quite fast, and I add it everywhere. I want to get the outside shapes more than I want to get the inside shapes. The outside shapes really define the hair. So now I'm going to add the glasses. So very carefully I add the circle of the glasses, just like that one. And I put the glasses too big because the glasses go below the eyebrow, so just more like this one. So I'm going to do that and add it in. And in the meantime, I've erased some of it, but now I add the glasses on the other side and tweak the areas. Now, whenever you take a break from a drawing, it's a good idea to go back in and redo the darks. It's often the darks that are the most important and that where we miss out on some things. So I've erased little tiny areas that are way too dark. And here that helps. That really adds to the character of Harry Potter. And now I'm adding more of the hair detail. So that hair detail is less important than the overall shape. Because when we look at Harry Potter, we're looking more about the overall shape of his hair, and that gives us an idea of who he is. I've erased some parts of the hair because there's some lighter areas and I've made it too dark. And now I'm just adding some of the darks back in. He's got quite the dark hair, and it's really important to just add that in. Harry Potter is now starting to look more like Harry Potter. He looks like an older version of what the picture I have on the left is. Actually, he looks a little bit like my son when my son was young. So there's a shine in the glasses. I'm adding that in. I'm adding some of the shadows related to the glasses, and that really helps redefine Harry's look. And now I'm going to block in some more of the shirt. And to me, that's less important than the face. So I'm not doing as much there. I'm really concentrating on the look of the face. And I keep adding. Now, if you get smudges on the outside and you want to keep the background white, don't be afraid to clean it up. But here's the basics of Harry Potter. He looks Harry Potter-ish. I think I still need to work on some of the face, but that's where I'm going to stop for now. I want to show you the basics on how to get going on any major drawing, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to go off camera now and rework a bit of Harry Potter. I can tell that I need to work the left-hand side a little more, but I'm going to stop for you. So what I'd like you to do now is go pick an image. It doesn't have to be Harry Potter. It could be anything else, and do a more advanced drawing. So do this now, and we'll see you in the conclusion.